Hey, the Thabreakmasta here. This is gonna be my Nazo No Kanojo X, aka Mysterious Girlfriend X, episode 5 review. This was a nice, episode. It was just about the summer and the swimsuits and Urabe. Yeah, it was pretty interesting, I could say at least. And yeah. So basically, there's not really too much to talk about in this episode, really. Tsubaki and Ueno were like supposed to do like PE and stuff, supposed to be kicking the ball into the goal, right? They weren't doing that. They were kicking the ball into the gate because apparently over there where the gate is where all the girls are swimming and they're all in their swimsuits and stuff. So, all the boys are like, oh, we gotta see this, we gotta see this. So they're kicking the ball over there to the gate and everyone's all looking over there like, oh yeah, this is awesome. And they're like, I guess they're doing some rating thing, I'm not really sure. But Tsubaki didn't end up doing that because he ends up seeing Urabe like putting a towel over and stuff like that, and he's like, oh, already all surprised, and he ends up missing the ball and looking stupid. And so summer vacations are starting to happen, and before that actually summer vacation starts to actually happen, he asked Urabe out on a date. Basically, we want to go to the beach and everything, and she's like, yeah, sure, I'll go, because it was, for some reason, it was weird. Like they're walking from school, right, and it was like really hot, so eating popsicles, right? And then after that, Tsubaki kept looking at her, by the way, too, but they're eating popsicle and everything, and all of a sudden they get by a tree, and they throw the popsicle sticks, it starts raining all of a sudden. And so then, after all that, freaking Tsubaki kept like sniffing Urabe a lot. It's just like, it smelled good and stuff, apparently. And apparently it's just her sweat. She wasn't wearing no kind of perfume or nothing, so he just likes her body odor, apparently. And so she's like, hey, you wanna lick my sweat? And I'm like, you're already looking at the freaking girl's saliva now and stuff. Now you're just looking at sweat. I mean, there's not one place you would not want to look at, apparently, huh? But so he ends up looking at her sweat, and he ends up seeing this weird image in his head and stuff, seeing her in a swimsuit and everything. And he's like, oh wow. And he was all in like awes with her. Really, he was just amazed by her. Honestly, through this whole episode, just infatuated, basically, And so like I say, he asked her out on a date, all that and that stuff, and so he's been trying to see when he can actually go out with her in the summer, because summertime is starting to happen, but they still end up meeting with each other because they have to do the daily dosage of the whole spit and stuff, So they kept doing that, and Robbie just kept going off real fast on her bike, and then she's like, oh, I gotta figure out, I gotta make sure I can get her to say like when we gonna do this or not. So he ends up finally getting her to to stop moving and ask her if they're gonna go or not. And apparently she couldn't go the week that he's asking, but next week they can, because the week that she can't do it because she has to go to her dad's house, whatever, and it has a beach and everything like that. So she ends up actually going over there, and it's like, we'll go to the beach next week. And so he's like, yes, booyah, and he's just super duper happy, having this grin on his face like this and stuff the whole time. And so I'm not sure it was his mother or his sister. He's like, oh wow, why you grinning so much? He's like, what? Really? I don't know. And then he looks in the mirror like, yeah, I'm grinning. I'm just so happy. And he had this weird dream. So he's been having these kind of dreams lately for the past week. And it's kind of weird because he usually supposed to get like a daily dosage of that saliva from Urabe, but for that whole week I don't think he could, because Urabe was with his father, or with her father. And so the week passed instantaneously, like instantly, and so they end up meeting at the place that they said they're gonna meet at, and then he ends up seeing Urabe, and Urabe has a weird tan. She looks like almost black, like almost my skin. Yeah. So but she looked good. I will say that she looked pretty good with that skin tone. She got a tan, and so he's like, wow. He just kept looking at her. He just couldn't. Like I say, just couldn't get enough of her. And so they're going to the beach, and they end up seeing the beach, and she has a swimsuit on. She looks good. As I said, she looked good in the swimsuit. And freaking Tsubaki was his mouth just open the whole time. He's just looking around like, oh, wow, everyone's just wearing skimpy suits, and just and then he's seen Urabe, he's like, and he's all more infatuated and crap. Just like I say, he was just like, oh my god. And so they end up swimming and everything, and he realizes that Urabe's a really good swimmer, and he's like, wow, he's so fast. And so she's just like, I'm sorry, I'm too fast, I'll slow down. And so when they slow down, I guess the reason why he wanted her to slow down is because he wanted to see more of that swimsuit. So he's like going underwater, looking at her underwater, like he just couldn't stop. And then he's like, man, only if she had that little towel over not towel, but the skirt over her swimsuit, you know, over her lower part of her body, because it's supposed to show her, you know, the you know, her underwear, or the bathing, the swimsuit underwear part, and he can't see that. He wants to see that and everything, and so he's all looking at it, and then she gets up out of the water, and he notices that Tsubaki's looking down at her. And she's like, huh. It's like, what are you looking at exactly? He's like, oh no, I was looking at the skirt. And he's like, oh yeah, you know, I don't usually wear skirts when I'm swimming, but when I was at my dad's place, because he had a beach, I ended up getting a tan, and apparently when I always have my scissors with me, and it gave me a tan line. So yeah, and then she ends up showing that. Yeah, it was nicely shown, and he had a blade nose. He's like, oh crap, you know, he couldn't take it, anymore. And so all in all, it's a good day for them and everything like that. And yeah, she ends up taking spit out of Tsubaki's mouth to see what he liked about the day, because you know she can tell what he liked, and so she get his spit, put it in her mouth, and then all of a sudden she had a nosebleed. She's like, what the heck? Why am I having a nosebleed all of a sudden? And she's like, well, then Tsubaki's like, well, I had a nosebleed when I saw you know, your tan line and stuff. And she's like, oh. And then she ends up saying, you want to see my tan line again? And he's like, yeah. And so he's like, next summer I'll show you my tan line again. And then she all of a sudden smiled. And so the next episode looks pretty much simple. It's like some more summer stuff I think is gonna happen within the next episode, which looks pretty interesting. I like the fact that this is what I like about this episode mainly. This like got done with the episode, but what I like about this episode the most was the fact that it showed Tsubaki and Urabe's relationship as an actual relationship. Actually, like they look more girlfriend boyfriend there, as opposed to before where they just mysterious. I don't even know what to call them, because they were just like, I don't know. It was weird, but I like the fact that they seem more like boyfriend girlfriend in this episode. The animation was really good on the stronger parts of the animation when she removed their skirt part to show Tsubaki, when the swimsuit all together, just the animation of it. It's just like the animation for those moments were like really good. So yeah. So like I said, I really like this episode. Leave a comment below, tell me what you think of the episode. Like if you like this review, and subscribe to my channel for some more Nazo No Kanojo X, Mysterious Girlfriend X reviews. So yeah, it's been the Thabreakmasta. Until then, break out.